You can look at masters in antiquity that were able to heal people with their, on command, that were able to bring something out of nothing, that were able to walk on water, that were able to bring people back from the dead.
Hello and welcome to the Pacific Channel, where you learn about the law of attraction, how to manifest anything you want, meditation, and wine. What? Did he just say wine? Yes, I did. In this video, if you ever wanted an excuse to drink wine, this is it. What is so interesting about Dr. Joe Dispenza is that he doesn't just read articles about what is healthy or rely on other scientific data or results. Instead, he fully tests things out himself and then objectively looks at the results. Get this. He created an artificial stomach and poured a glass of wine into it to see what would happen. If you have ever had a glass of red wine and then had a wonderful conversation or just felt really good, this will explain why. Without further delay, let's listen to Dr. Joe.
And I started thinking about, well, is there a chemical? Is there something in red wine that could make us happy? And so we created an artificial stomach. We put all the digestive juices in there, hydrochloric acid, trypsin, chymotrypsin, pepsin, pepsinogen, and we purged the system with a noble gas, an argon gas, an inert gas, so that the digestive process could be anaerobic. And then we hooked it up to an analyzer that could measure the wavelengths of all the gases that were being produced from that digestive process. We brought the system up to body temperature, and we started, trapping the vapor, and we found that we were producing from one glass of red wine. We pour a glass of red wine in there, about 40 parts per million of this particular molecule called nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is one molecule of nitrogen, one molecule of oxygen, and it's a very permeable chemical, and it's involved in a lot of chemical reactions in the body. But nitric oxide signals another chemical called endothelial-derived relaxin factor. And that's what causes the arteries in your heart and lungs to begin to swell, begin to dilate. And so in a sense, wine opens your heart. And when it opens your heart, then as more blood flow moves in there, and when that area is engorged with blood, it's engorged with energy. And for some reason, when that happens, people tend to be more loving, they tend to be more creative, they tend to be more giving, they tend to be more patient, more present, and then of course the heart sends energy to the brain. If the nitric oxide makes it to the brain, it creates plasticity in the circuitry in the brain. So now you have circuits that are actually loosening up their connections. And when they start loosening up their hardwired connections, they can reconnect in different ways. So it's just kind of interesting that I wouldn't recommend drinking wine before your meditation, but I do, for me personally, it's a great way for me to have a glass of wine and really think about what I know, and think about what I learn, or think about what I believe and what I don't believe, and at what point do I stop believing in these principles. So for me, it's a great way to loosen up, to contemplate everything that I do know. And so it creates plasticity, it increases blood flow to the heart, which of course changes how the brain moves into more creative states. And it's just something that I spent a little time studying and researching. That if I do the work every day and I do it properly, and I move beyond my association to my body, to my environment, to time, and I become pure consciousness, and I allow my consciousness to merge with the consciousness of the absolute, of the void, of the vacuum, of nothing, where there's infinite possibilities, infinite universes. That if I do it properly, when I come back to my senses, I come back to Joe Dispenza, and I step back into my world, I believe that if I truly made contact, when I come back, everything will look exactly the same as I left it. I've only moved maybe one or two of those realities over, But if there's a synchronicity, if there's a coincidence, if there's a new opportunity, if something begins to unfold in my reality that's novel, that's new, that's different, I know that I'm in that reality, and seamlessly, in some way, I'm in a different multiple universe, one of those other universes. If I keep doing that, if you're sick, if you're looking to change your career, if you're looking for a relationship, I don't care what it is, if you keep practicing moving through those different universes, those different realities, and create, and you keep having those synchronicities and those coincidences and those opportunities, sooner or later you'll be in the reality that you want. Now, that's three-dimensional world. You get really good at being relaxed in your heart and awake in your brain, and you have a transcendental moment that's truly profound. The interaction with that energy and frequency is changing the neurological structure in your brain, because that information is causing the brain to have an experience. Experience enriches circuitry. So now you're laying down circuits in your brain by your interaction with the field, and that 99% of reality that you don't know anything about, you included, you're in that 99%. And somehow you remember what you forgot, that you're connected, that you're whole. That's what the interaction does. And we come back to our world, and now we have a broader perspective, a greater perception of what we couldn't see before, because the brain wasn't wired to perceive it. Get really, really good at that by interacting with it. And all of a sudden, you're going to perceive a whole lot more of reality with your eyes open. Now, I say, and I practice this, that if you have that transcendental moment and you have that heightened experience where your senses are heightened, your awareness of everything is heightened, you get really good at this, and you can do it with your eyes open, you should have a profound level of awareness of things that you couldn't perceive before, but now you can perceive because you're tuned into energy and frequency and you feel connected. That process then goes on forever. It's a never-ending process of discovery. So relaxed in the heart and conscious and awake in the brain tends to be the formula. And do I think that you can experience all kinds of unusual things? Yes. But we're just getting to the point now where we're getting so good at doing it with our eyes closed that we have to practice doing it with our eyes open in our waking day. And to sustain that state for an extended period of time, if the person has an intent, a direction in why they're doing it, and assigns meaning that I want to perceive more of reality, that's why they want the mystical. I mean, that's one of the reasons I want it. I want to see more that I'm not seeing. I want to awaken to what I can perceive. The upgrade is not going to come from your experience in three-dimensional reality. It's going to come from your interaction with energy and frequency. So then I've had moments where I've been so conscious, so present, so awake that everything heightened. Colors, smells, what I was hearing, somehow all my five senses were, everything that was being integrated through my five senses were all connected. It was, and I was seeing color in a way that looked more like light than color. Well, that heightened sense, I think, is what masters experience, that they feel like everything. They're a part of the whole in some way. They're no longer separate. That's the journey. The side effect of your interaction with the universal mind, with source, with pure love, whatever you want to call that, is you become more of it and it becomes more of you. And then the reality that we perceive here, we can actually shorten the distance between the thought of what we want and the experience of having it without doing anything. And then you can look at masters in antiquity that were able to heal people with their, on command, that were able to bring something out of nothing, that were able to walk on water, they were able to bring people back from the dead. I mean, this is, it's an extension of a greater level of consciousness, and it starts in the heart, and it really is about synchronizing the heart and the brain.
So, what do we learn from this video besides that Dr. Joe is a wino? Kidding. But seriously, now you know why drinking some wine can have some very beneficial effects. Now I want to go buy a nice bottle of red wine. It loosens up your neural pathways, creates plasticity in your brain, increases blood flow to the heart, allows you to feel more connected, be more loving, more patient, and more calm. If you're like me, you sort of knew that already, but now you have the scientific excuse to partake a bit more. I'm sure Dr. Joe would say that moderation is important, however. Not only did we learn about the benefits of wine, but also we learn about how when you can synchronize the heart and brain, when you can get relaxed in the heart and awake in your brain, you can basically transurf different universes. And when you get into the place of being nobody or no thing, where infinite possibilities exist, and you can bring a little of that into your awakened state, you'll start to see things that you have envisioned come into your life in this universe, in this reality. As usual, Dr. Joe's information is mind-blowing and awesome and amazing. So now, if anyone complains that you're drinking too much, just tell them that you're doing it for science in the name of scientific research, and that you are seeing for yourself if the scientific research is accurate. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to watch more videos like this. And if you feel so inclined, please leave a comment below. And now, go out there and, in the name of research, test out Dr. Joe's theories. You'll have more fun than a barrel of monkeys. I don't really know why a barrel of monkeys is fun, but okay.